Très heureux de vous retrouver ici pour la première journée ce jeudi 23 mars 2023 pour la première journée de congrès de la médecine générale France. C'est un grand congrès ici à Paris, Porte-Maillot, et nous nous retrouvons avec des milliers de médecins généralistes qui viennent se former et s'informer sur l'avenir de la médecine. Je suis très heureux donc de recevoir aujourd'hui notre premier invité, Samuel Myers. Hello, nice to meet you, Samuel Myers.
It's very nice to be with you.
I would like to ask you about your communication at the Congress of General Medicine in Paris. Je reçois Samuel Myers, qui est le directeur de Planetary Health à Lyon, qui est un consortium de plus de 280 universités, ONG, instituts de recherche, qui s'engagent à comprendre et à traiter le changement environnemental global et ses impacts sur la santé. Sam est un chercheur reconnu, important, à l'école de santé publique de l'université très prestigieuse de Harvard à Boston. Il arrive des États-Unis et nous sommes donc très heureux de l'accueillir. La santé planétaire est un des grands sujets de ce congrès de la médecine générale. L'OMS a déclaré le changement climatique comme étant la plus grande menace pour la santé à laquelle l'humanité est confrontée. Il s'agit donc d'analyser ici tous les liens entre les activités humaines et la santé, et de développer des solutions pour un monde équitable, durable et sain. Et évidemment, les médecins et les médecins généralistes ont un rôle important à jouer. Sam, your speech is an opening keynote here today at 11 o'clock in few moments. And my first question is, what is the central insight of the field of the planetary health?
Well, thank you for having me here. And so the central insight of the field of planetary health is essentially that the Earth crisis that we're in today has reached a scale that it is now causing a global health crisis. And so all the ways that we are transforming the natural world, not only climate change, but biodiversity loss and pollution and land use change, all of these ways we're transforming the natural environment are coming back to affect our own health as well as the health of every other species on the planet.
Yes. Je vais demander à Sam quelques exemples de la façon dont les changements environnementaux menacent la santé humaine. Sam, can you give us some examples of threats to human health?
You know, there's so many. If you read the newspapers almost every week, you see another example. Yesterday, I was reading about 48,000 people dying in the famine in Somalia. There are projections that up to 500,000 people are at risk in the famine in the Horn of East Africa. Last year, we saw the displacement of 33 million people in Pakistan after the flooding. In my own research, we find that rising concentrations of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere are making our food less nutritious. And we found that the loss of pollinating insects like bees and butterflies and moths is actually causing 500,000 deaths every year because we can't produce enough of the healthy foods we depend on to prevent heart disease and strokes and cancer. So I could go on, but in every dimension of health, we see very important impacts of changes in the global environment on that dimension of health.
Sam, the problem is climate change, or is it bigger than that?
It's bigger than that. So we tend to say it's not just climate change, it's everything change, because our activities collectively are changing not only the climate system, but we're driving the 6th mass extinction of life on Earth. And those changes in biodiversity come back to affect our health. Pollution is causing 9 million deaths every year. Pollution of air, water, and soil. Changes in land use and land cover, deforestation. All of these different ways that we're changing the environment are degrading the natural life support systems that we depend upon. So it is climate change, but it's all the other kinds of change that we're creating across the planet.
Il faut que nous sachions effectivement ce que les médecins peuvent faire sur ce sujet. What about our roles as physicians?
Well, so as physicians, we make a diagnosis. And in this case, the diagnosis is really that the size of humanity's ecological footprint now exceeds our planet's capacities. And as a result, we're changing all of our natural systems that we depend on. So the treatment has to be to reduce our ecological footprint. And we talk about a great transition across the way we build our cities, food systems, energy systems, manufacturing. We need to find ways to quickly reduce the ecological footprint associated with the way we're living in order to restore and regenerate our natural life support systems.
Interesting. Je vais demander à Sam pour terminer ce que nous pouvons faire face à l'urgence sanitaire planétaire. What can we do on health emergency, please?
Well, I think as health workers, we have been very slow to start addressing this issue. We see it as a set of environmental problems, the climate problem, the biodiversity problem, the oceans problem, and we don't think it relates to us. And so I think it's very important that we understand that we, as health practitioners, can no longer safeguard human health into the future while the natural life support systems that we depend on are crumbling underneath the weight of our own ecological footprint. And so we need to become advocates for protecting our natural systems. We need to be pointing out to our patients that there are things that they can do for their individual health that are also good for planetary health. So vegetable-based diets and active transport and changing our energy sources. We need to be communicating with our communities and helping to build movements to help people understand we really need a shift in the way we're living if we're going to have a livable future for our grandchildren.
OK. Merci beaucoup à Sam Myers d'être venu des États-Unis pour nous rencontrer. Sam, thanks. It was a great pleasure to speak with you, and good congress, and welcome in Paris.
Thank you, Pascal. I enjoyed speaking with you as well.
Bye-bye.